Hey y'all. It's Ron here, and I want to welcome you to another episode of the WeAreVon Podcast. Hello. So happy that you are here. It is the holiday. When you are viewing this, it will be the Christmas day. If you do celebrate the holiday, I hope you and your family enjoy each other's company. If you don't, I'm hoping a day of relaxation and enjoyment in whatever way you see fit. Okay, so we actually gonna skip over that because today we are actually talking about New Year's resolutions. You will see me looking down. That's because I did write notes. So I want you all to just understand that already, like right off the bat, that I'm gonna be looking down. Okay, I have to. All right. Just like my previous episode, I function better when I have notes, and I'm realizing that. So, guess what? This episode is titled New Year, New Who. We always set New Year's resolutions. And as human beings, I keep wondering why we do this without the intention of completing these goals. But upon doing my research, I found out people actually do want to complete their goals. They just set their standards too high sometimes, in addition to other reasons as well. So that's what we're going to talk about today, okay? So I want y'all to get ready and get prepared so that we can dive into today's episode 62. I feel like holding my mic because I am completely terrified of it coming out totally wrong. And I'm gonna play this back, of course, and I'm probably gonna critique myself a billion times, but it's okay. I mean, yeah. I got my 90s look going on. You see, I got a lip line. I had a wonderful, wonderful long weekend. Um, Actually, I'm not going to say long. It was a fast weekend, but it was very restful. I did get some rest. I love me a good rest, even if I don't nap. Like, I need rest, okay? I encourage you all to get it. But today's episode, we are going to get into setting New Year's resolutions and why we don't complete them, amongst other things. Y'all already know. Follow the WeAreVon Podcast on Instagram at WeAreVon Pod. I would love for y'all to connect with me. I would love for you all to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube. Okay. Um, yeah, go ahead and do that. I am working on consistency. This is what I've been working on since the summertime. Okay. I'm usually more consistent when I don't have to do other things. So I do have other things going on. So I actually have to give myself a little bit of leeway with that because I'm always going to have something going on. But when I don't have too many things going on, I'm able to do better. Okay. So let's get into it because I'm talking too much. But like, comment, subscribe on my YouTube and follow at WeAreVon on Instagram at WeAreVon Pod, the WeAreVon Podcast. Okay. So let's get into it. So I like to look up the psychology behind things, and I'm going to note a couple of things as to why you're not completing your New Year's resolutions. So the number one thing, you are setting unrealistic goals. I want y'all to think about that right now. Are you the one? You probably are. Okay. I've done it before. So sometimes we have expectations that are a little bit overly ambitious. So when they're too big and they're too vague, you're not able to achieve them. So you're going to get frustrated. It's just right off the rip. You're going to be so frustrated that you might even give up. And I've been there. I've started a fitness journey at least 12 times now, especially after having kids. I'm getting the gym, I'm getting the gym, I'm getting the gym. And then don't happen. Or I get in the gym and I get out of the gym. So sometimes we don't have clear action plans. So when you don't have SMART goals, it's hard to stay on track. All right. Y'all remember SMART goals from when we were younger. So psychologically, when you set unrealistic goals, you activate what's called a dream state. And when you activate that dream state, you're not problem solving. You are just more so saying, "Oh, I want this, I want this." But where are the action steps? That is where we get messed up at. Okay. So another thing, you lack the motivation within you. So sometimes you have a pressure from society to achieve a dream. Okay. Now, whether that be owning a home, getting a new car, because we see other people have it, knowing dang on well, we're not even in a position to get a new car. Okay. So sometimes we want external validation. Check yourself, because I have been here wanting external validation. I'm like, oh, yes, I want others to see what I'm doing. I want them to say good job and congratulations. While we all do deserve these things, you are doing it for you. You're not doing it for others. I just want y'all to keep that in mind. And of course, that's something you already know. So, yeah. All right. If you struggle with external validation, I would say figure out the best parts of yourself that you love, and also the things that you can change and you cannot, because sometimes we be punching the air for no reason, because some things about us we just cannot change. All right. So just give yourself a little bit more grace, okay? So when we're not able to have genuine commitment, maintaining that effort is a bit challenging. So I want you all to think about that. Okay. Even putting the effort towards getting a new car, knowing your credit is in the 400s, and you're literally going to have to take some time to pay some things down, get some things off of your credit in order for it to do what it do, in order for you to get that car you want. And of course, that's not going to happen in 2 weeks. So just be nicer to yourself, okay? And be a little bit more realistic about that and your motivations to do things. Are you doing it for others, or are you doing it for yourself? Also, our brains are in cognitive overload. So we have to muster up this mental energy just to even do some of the things we set forth on our goals. And also, we got to practice self control, because listen, if your goal is to save money, but every time you go out, you're spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars, you're going out to the club every weekend, you're never sitting still, like, and you don't necessarily have to sit still and not enjoy yourself, but you do have to put some money to the side. You do have to say, oh, this weekend I can't go out. I'm gonna have a nice chill moment in the home, maybe play some dominoes, maybe watch a couple movies, invite a couple of friends over, not even spend a lot of money. Everybody bring their own dish. Maybe we sit down and have a good time if you're looking for company, and do that for maybe a month or two, on and off every other weekend. Save money each every other weekend, so that when you get to that point, you know, you're able to reach your goal. Of course, that's that self-control. Okay. Sometimes you got to say, well, I'm not going out tonight. I'm sorry, I got to stay in the house. Okay. Also, when we have our resolutions, we have to replace our existing habits with new ones. And this is very, very stressful. Our brain resists change because it prefers familiar patterns. You have to know that. Let's stop being mean to our brain. You are literally telling your brain to forget everything you ever learned in the course of a day. That's why when I do my groups for group therapy, sometimes I have to tell them, like, you think it's not working, but it's only your second week. That's not enough time. You have 10 years of trauma, 5 years of trauma, 4 years of trauma, 3 years of trauma, 2 years of trauma, and you want this to be gone in 2 weeks. That's not how it works. Okay. So even if the patterns are unhealthy, our brain wants to stay there. So you just have to know that you have to have that psychological insight to say, why am I being unrealistic with myself? I know that because I develop these patterns over time, I definitely cannot let this pattern go or this habit go within 2 weeks. Okay. So also let's talk about this one, because sometimes we be wanting just stuff to just be immediate. Like, oh, I should be there by now. Me. That's me. That's me, y'all. I should be there by now. I've been putting all this work. No, I only put in 30 days of work. I done did all this thing. I done did all that thing, and nothing is just working, and I just failed. Okay. Sometimes we want to be perfect. And of course, this can prevent our progress because it just creates that ideal image that in order for you to progress, you have to be perfect or you have to get results automatically. We are becoming beings of instant gratification. You would rather do one thing instead of doing all of the things that you need to do in order for you to get what you want and reap the benefit. So we have to kind of get out of that mindset. So one thing that I did in my journey, I deleted social media for about almost 60 days, almost. I was able to get in the gym. I focused a little bit more. Um, I I just sat down with myself. I actually did some reflection. I got in the word a bit, and of course, trying to get better at that because it can be a struggle sometimes. But I just did all of the things that I just did the work. Okay. All of the goals that I had set for myself, I did the work. Now, 60 days still, but I was building a habit. I was building patterns. And of course, 60 days is not all the way enough, but I will tell you it's a decent amount to get you on the track and what you need to go so you can do the things that you set out to do. Okay. All right. And sometimes we have that all or nothing thinking. So the psychological insight in this is that we have that cognitive distortion of, if I don't do this, then all of my progress is gone. It's gone. Let me tell you something. That's why it's called cheat days and exercise, because you are going to need that reward. It's harder to recover from our slip ups once we think, oh, I ate a burger and I'm not eating, I ate a beef burger and I'm not eating beef right now. So I totally failed and I just don't want to do it anymore. And so you just quit. Me, stop going to the gym. I stopped going because I was like, well, if I can't go at the schedule I want to go, then I'm not going. Guess what? Stress. Because exercise has a lot of the benefits, the same benefits as therapy. So I found myself sad, emotionally like messed up. And that's because I said I'm just not going to the gym just because I can't go at the time I want to go. Okay. I am very stubborn in that way. And my best workouts are at 7 a.m. I just left the gym earlier because two people were in there and I really don't like being in the gym where others are there. And that's my fault because I ended up going late this morning. So, yeah, it's a thing. I'm really going to build myself a home gym when I'm able to because I rather work out by myself. But anyway, I could take that and say, you know what? I'm just not going to work out at all. But no, I went in there, I did my 20 minutes as I usually do, and I left. It was it. That was done. Okay. So I decided I'm not gonna, put myself in that position because I feel like if I just don't work out, then of course I'm gonna be unhealthy. My brain is not gonna be functioning properly and correctly. I'm gonna be agitated. I'm gonna be irritated at everything. And I think workouts are good for me. If any of y'all who work out consistently, you don't work out, I'm pretty sure you feel it. You feel it. You feel it. If you work out consistently, you're going to feel it. So just keep going. Even if you fall out one day, it's okay. Just continue. So, emotional barriers are another reason why we do not complete our New Year's resolutions. So, those negative emotions like fear, anxiety, our self esteem, they can aid in sabotage for us. So, we have to be a little bit more mindful of what we feed ourselves, what we feed our headspace. So, self doubt and fear, the fear of failure can make it easy. It makes it harder for us to be consistent. So, in order for us to get in a space of success for the new year in our resolutions, I want you all to, first of all, I want you all to downsize these goals that y'all have for yourselves, because if you think you're about to complete 8 things in 365 days, I'm going to tell you that you're probably setting the bar too high. Now, I'm not saying that you can't achieve things, but you can't achieve all things in the timelines you have set in each quarter. Of course, you can work hard to do so, but I will tell you that it's going to be kind of hard. Like, give yourself a break, okay? Start off with some mini goals, all right? So a key takeaway for success: one, start small and grow. I just stated that. All right. So, of course, when you do things on increment, it's going to prevent you from being overwhelmed and from potentially saying, I quit. Okay. Also, track and reflect. You can use a journal, an app, or a chart, anything. If you have any Apple product, you can definitely go ahead and say, yeah, I am about to open this notepad. I'm going to add my 2 cents into it for the new year so that I can be able to just stay on top of things. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Then also just celebrate your progress, right? Every time you reach a milestone, I ain't saying go crazy with it. You know what I mean? Okay. But I am saying just celebrate your milestones, because it's very, very important for you to celebrate where you are so that you can feel like, you're more likely to want to continue. Also, and just embrace being flexible. Your goals are probably going to change depending on what's going on. Sometimes we get a little agitated, like, oh, it's not going the way it's supposed to go. Well, maybe that was the plan. Okay. So just be more nicer to yourself, and be a little bit more gentle. You just think about the fact that if you had a goal where you want to get into therapy, and you are beating yourself up because you did not, your brain habits didn't change, your habits didn't change within 2 days after you doing therapy. First of all, the first session is initial intake, and I'm telling you that right now. So if you think that you're about to be cured in 2 sessions, that's not happening. Okay. And then the second session is still you getting to know your therapist. So, of course, you will be setting a very unrealistic goal if you decide that you want to be cured in 2 therapy sessions. Okay. And give your fellow therapist some breaks here. We are leading you to the water. We love that you have decided to trust us with your mental health, but also we got to talk about some of those expectations before you walk into the room, okay? Or a session, all right? And you can usually do that with a consult by calling the therapy office and asking, what is this all about? And some people get a little bit nervous when they do that. But honestly, do you just flat out buy, let's just say, an off-brand TV without even knowing, like, looking at reviews? Really? Okay. So just ask. It's okay to do a consult. No one should take that offensive. So if that's you, this new year, you decide, I'm going to go to therapy. Kudos to you. Okay. But take it one day at a time, because I will tell you that trust the process is definitely a process. Okay. All right. So this has been a very fast and interesting episode because I'm getting straight to the point, because you sometimes we literally do ourselves a disservice by setting these New Year's resolutions, and we're not going to complete them. We're just not. It's not happening. It's not happening. I'm sorry to tell you that. And I don't know everything, but I know one thing from experience. It's about 5 goals that I did not complete this year. And that's just because of the powers that be. Like, so I can't get mad. I just throw my hands up these days. My brain doesn't even have the capacity to say I'm about to fight against the wind, because if it happens, it happens. It is what it is. Okay, I accept it. So this has been another episode of the WeAreVon Podcast. Once again, please follow the podcast on Instagram at WeAreVon Pod, as well as YouTube, as well as Spotify, as well as Apple. I want to see y'all follow. I want to see y'all ask questions. I want to see y'all post and repost. I want to see y'all share. I want to see y'all subscribe. Have a happy holiday. Bye.